Hi there. I'm just getting ready here to start chatting about our topic, which is family Christmas, coping with the Christmas crazies. This is part one, and it's about obligation, feeling obligated to um, to visit with family over the holidays. So bear with me. I may know my energy and healing. However, technology is a little bit of a challenge. So, if you are here and you are live and you are present, send me out a shout out. Say hello. Not going to bite you. Say hi. Let me know your name and where you're from. Because I know that this is supposed to be going out worldwide. So from the responses I got, people interested, there's a lot of people around the globe that need some help with this. So let me know that you're here. All right. So while we're waiting for people to come on, I'll tell you a little bit about myself for people that don't know who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm talking um, about family dysfunction. Technically, I am a coach, spiritual life coach. I'm a Reiki master. I've been doing energy healing for over years now. And I've seen a lot of shifts and changes and healing and miracles happen through healing through energy. So over the years, I've seen transition from a lot of people coming to me with physical issues that are struggling with mental emotional issues. So that sort of got me wondering, you know, what's the root of that problem? Why is this happening? So I started coaching a lot of people. I started to see that there was a commonality. And the commonality was that a lot of people don't feel loved. And the topic we're going to talk about, i.e., family, is about love. And that's sort of what we're talking about. It says family touches close to home for us. And, when we don't feel loved or receiving love from the family, then it sparks issues in us. So, hi, Janice. I see you're on board. Give me a shout out, say hello, say hi, and let me know that you're here and listening and that we're all in this together. Anyways, so yes, family typically is what we equate with where we get our love from, that they are the sort of the root, the beginning of where love starts for us. And then as time passes and as years go by, we start to get older, we start to have a bigger understanding of the world. If we don't feel that love, then there starts to create a separation. Okay? So let me get comfortable here. You can tell I'm moving around. I'm not too used to just sitting still. I like to move my energy around, so bear with me. Anyways, I want to talk about this topic about family obligation. All right. And this comes up a lot around Christmas. We have very strong beliefs about what's supposed to happen during Christmas. And we equate Christmas with love because that's what we've been told. And when we don't feel it from the ones who are supposed to be closest to us, again, that separation starts to happen. And we start to feel more like seeing our family is work than pleasure. And that's where it becomes sort of a struggle, a power struggle. So what I want to say is I want to talk about the best way to understand this, without getting all technical, and why it's happening and why you feel this way, is to explain energy to you through fear and love. All right. So that's the way I'm going to explain it, because that's the way I know it best. All right. So love, nothing. I don't know if you can see the board behind me, a little blurry, but basically nothing works in the absence of love. Nothing. Nothing in your life will work. Just think about it. Your diet won't work because you won't keep it, because you're not motivated. Your job won't work if you don't love it. All right? Your family relationships in general won't work if you don't love it. So nothing works in the absence of love. So what happens to families? Well, typically parents start with good intentions. Their intention is they have these children and they completely love them. They're in a space of high frequency. The vibe is love. But what happens is over time, due to stress, due to responsibilities, due to negativity, due to trauma, due to all these pain, whatever they're going through, sickness, this is all equates to lower energy, which now becomes the focus of fear. All right. And the problem is, fear is not a bad thing. But if we stay in fear too long, it becomes a lifestyle. All right. And as you can see by the state of the world right now, the vibe out there is all about fear. So families are no different. They end up getting rooted, and a lot of them end up getting stuck in fear. So that's sort of where all the damage starts to happen, because people unconsciously don't know what's happened, don't know they're operating in fear, and they literally get stuck there. So they don't know how to get ahead. So as far as obligation goes, oh well, so let me move back. The reason that we start to feel obligated is because something in us has changed. And I know what I speak of because that's what happened to me with my family. I was waiting for them to change. If they were nicer, if they behaved better, if they were fair, if they were this, if they were that, then I'd love them more. I'd be more comfortable. I'd be more happy. But I didn't realize, and we hear this all the time, it's not them that's changed. It's you that's changed. It was me that changed. So because when I was in that family, I was the same as them, thought the same, had the same beliefs. So I didn't see a problem. And that's why typically your siblings or other family members may not know that there's a problem with you. They may not know that you're not happy because they are thinking on the same vibe or energy field that the rest of them are. But the problem why you feel sort of like the black sheep, I hate that word, but for lack of a better word, is because you have changed. You have educated yourself. You have learned more. You want more for yourself. You've done some self work on yourself. You love deeper. So you want the same from them. So when you're not getting it from them, it becomes a power struggle. You want them so badly to love you the way you need to be loved. And they want for you so badly to understand that they do love you at the capacity that they have. That's it. So that's why it's a power struggle. And it becomes more of I don't really want to go because your heart's not in it. Okay? Your head's saying, I'm supposed to go. I'm a daughter, I'm a son. I should be doing this. And you feel obligated. You feel, I remember when I felt like this. it was a horrible feeling because the world, the media, everybody and their mother was telling you, shame on you. Those are your parents, those are your siblings. You should be going. Should, would, could, have to, must. These are all fear based, um, what's the word, attributes. Okay? Love doesn't vibrate in have to. Love vibrates in free will. Free will is exactly what it says. It allows the person to make their own decision, to follow their own heart, to be in a space that they feel comfortable with. So that's free will. I found this the other day, and I'm going to read it to you. So love requires free will. Don't expect authentic love back from someone you're trying to control or manipulate, because they're only going to resent you. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of families try to do. A lot of families, I hate to say it, are based on fear and control versus love and mutual respect. They have that sense of entitlement that I'm your mother, I'm your father, you have to feel this way, you have to attend, you have to do this, and so forth and so on. And we are inundated with media, with other people telling us how we're supposed to behave. We shut down our hearts and we listen to our head. And that's where the struggle is. That obligation lives in our head, that we are told that we have to do this and we have to do that, and we shouldn't feel this and we shouldn't feel that. But the problem is, where do those feelings go? Where do they go? They go deep down inside of you, pushed away. I like to use the beach ball effect. You know, have you ever been at the beach, had a beach ball? Have you ever tried to push that beach ball down? Keep pushing it down, keep pushing it down. That's what we do with our emotions, our negative emotions. Push them down, keep on holding them down. And at some point, this takes a lot of energy to hold down those suppressed emotions. And eventually, when you run out of energy, okay, due to stress, due to pain, due to negativity, due to trauma, due to poor diet, due to all these factors, the beach ball starts getting heavier. Those negative emotions that we feel start to get heavier and heavier, and we can no longer sustain it. So what happens is most people tend to explode, okay? Then they get angry, and anger is the next reaction. We get angry and we don't want to be part of it. And then we create power struggles and we want to separate ourselves from what makes us angry. So unfortunately, I can't see comments from anybody. Let me see if I'm getting any comments. I'm probably doing something very wrong with respect to this, so hopefully it's getting out where it needs to go. Anyways, even if it helps one person, then I'm cool with that. Anyways, so that's where those suppressed emotions go. All right. So we want to talk about a couple of things. Um, I know a lot of people tend to complain about commercialism. Christmas doesn't feel the way it used to feel, okay, when we were kids. And there's a lot of people that are pointing out, like I know today on the radio and Facebook, there's a lot of talk about inappropriate songs and stuff like that. You're allowed to feel what you want to feel, believe what you want to believe. However, the real problem isn't about songs or lyrics or any of that. That's a symptom. The root of the problem is, why don't we feel loved in our families to want to attend or be around the people that are supposed to love us the most. All right. So that's here lies the problem that something in you is shifting. Something in you is changing. You're starting to wake up. You're starting to allow that beach ball to come out, and all those emotions are starting to come out of you. And a lot of times we don't know how to manage that. So we do one of two things. We either play along in denial and try to dismiss the feelings, or we acknowledge them. And when we acknowledge them, a lot of times people don't want to hear that truth. So, you get either made fun of, you get, you get, people get angry at you, or they excommunicate from you. So I'm going to here to tell you a couple things, right? Spending Christmas with anybody, not just your family, should feel like an invitation, not an obligation. An invitation, think about when we get a wedding invitation or an invitation to anything. It means that somebody has taken the time to ask you to appear at this special event because the event would not be the same without your energy in it. So that's what Christmas should be. It should be an invitation to have your love and your energy in that space with other people of the same intention. Okay? But when Christmas and our family is rooted in fear, it doesn't feel like an invitation. It feels like the opposite, which is an obligation. Okay? Then we feel bad. We feel guilty. We feel ashamed if we don't come. And I'm going to say to you right now, a couple things. What you're feeling is not unusual. A lot of people are feeling it. They just don't have the courage to say it. Now, I get that. I've been through the same thing myself. That going home to me should be the most comfortable place you ever visit in your life, right? You should be received with warmth, with love. But unfortunately, that's not always the truth because the people in your family, and you hear the saying all the time, you choose your friends, but not your family. I don't know, I'm sort of questioning that too as well, but that's another topic of a video. But for now, you're dealing with the family that you have. So your vibe, your energy is not matching theirs anymore. So I guess the next question is, um, why is that? And I touched on it already a little bit. It's because something is changing in you. Something is awakening in you. And that something is who you truly are, your authentic self. You know, you probably spend most of your life, like most people, being someone that somebody wants you to be. We start off as children, free, have free will, to be whoever we want to be. And then and parents let us believe that till we hit a certain age. Then when we hit a certain age, parents expect us now through good intentions, okay? They love us. They want us to succeed. They want us to feel safe. They want us to make money, get jobs, to fit in, to belong. So they start to form us and shape us in the way that the rest of the world works. And before long, we lose our authenticity, you know, which to me has always been ironic because when I do seminars and I ask everybody, how many people, show of hands, say that we all look different? Yes, Rita. How many people say we sound different? We think different, we dress different, we look at all of it. Yes, yes, yes. And then my answer is, then why the hell are we all trying to be the same? Right? It's an obvious question, but we do because there's a human need to want to belong. We want to belong to groups. That's why we form groups. We want to belong to our family. We want to belong. So nobody wants to be isolated. Nobody wants to be cast out. So typically, we will compromise who we are to fit in, to make those that love us happy. Okay? And it's a hell of a price to pay because as you get older, you'll lose your peace that way. Okay? And I once read something else that said, whatever is costing you your peace is too high a price to pay. Okay? So if going to family Christmas is costing you your peace, then we have to come up with another way. So the solution I want to offer to you to help you, let me have some tea. The first thing I like to do is try to fix things before we have to change things. Okay, that's plan A. So the first approach is to approach your family, whoever you're having difficulty with, to talk to them and tell them how you feel. Okay, now speak with love. If you feel yourself getting angry, then that's not the time to talk. If you can't speak to them without getting angry, okay. The other thing I want to offer is perhaps you write a letter to them. Okay, write a letter because a letter will allow you to write what you feel. It will not judge you and it will take the pressure off. So then you could read the letter to them. Okay, tell them how you feel and why you don't feel, accepted or appreciated, or you feel stressed, why you feel stressed. Because here's the other thing as well. I remember when I went to speak to my family, took every fiber of my being to do it because it's a tough one. It's hard to sit across from your parents, particularly, because you feel like that 5-year-old girl again, and tell them that you don't feel loved. You don't want them to feel bad, but you're willing to let yourself feel bad. And that's not right. Okay. So I remember having to do this, and my palms were sweating, my voice was breaking, like I had diarrhea. It was horrible, and I thought, this is madness. This is madness. This is supposed to be people I run to, not run away from. So I started to share, and that's actually where the beginning of my book started. For those of you that don't know me, again, I wrote a book called, where is it? Parents with Price Tags. Heal Yourself of Family Dysfunction and Learn to Love Your Children Unconditionally. So the book was actually my writings, my journaling, and I started to share it with some of my clients as well, and I realized that I wasn't alone. That's how this whole mission has started for me, about wanting to put an end to family dysfunction. It's hurting people, okay? And we have enough to contend with and to have no place to go at Christmas, particularly, where we feel comfortable, loved, where we could be our true selves, okay? But here's what I wanted to say. My parents didn't even know that I wasn't happy because I masked it so well. And they were also unconscious, caught up in their own stuff, that they didn't know I even was unhappy. And chances are your siblings probably don't know you're unhappy because they're unconscious still too, still playing family games and doing what they're obligated to do. So remember, you're the one changing and evolving, which is a good thing. So don't suppress that anymore. You'll do further and more damage. So step one, tell them how you feel. If you can't do it face to face, over the phone, I prefer face to face. That's just me. Because you could see the body language. You can look at someone in the eyes. All right. Technology has gotten in our way and have ruined communications already. So put that away. Okay. Tell them how you feel. Chances are they may not like what you have to say. Because when you bring the truth to people, they don't always embrace it. Because deep down inside, they probably know it's true and they don't want to deal with it. Okay? As a bearer of truth, I get that all the time. Truth emits more light and it exposes the person for who they truly are. And they don't always like what they see back. All right? But you're the mirror that's going to reflect what they need to see and how you need to be treated. So you're that mirror, and they may not like it. Now, the next step is if they don't, I'm trying to make sure I've got a couple of notes here. If they don't like what you have to say and they're not willing to change, then you have to make a decision as to whether you want to go or not. Okay? Try not to compromise your emotional state any further is my advice to you. Okay? Because Christmases will come and go. And if they really love you unconditionally, they'll probably forgive the fact that you didn't show up. Okay? But you need to start sharing how you feel. Because if you don't, you're just going to become more and more unhappy, depressed, anxious, some people suicidal thought. And around Christmas, the statistics on depression, suicide skyrocket, okay, because of this feeling that we are told Christmas is about love, but we're not feeling loved, okay? So share that with your family. Tell them how you feel. It's going to open up some doors. It's going to open up perhaps a can of worms. But I can tell you something, okay? And, there's one thing I'd say, do it, even say, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. And I can contest to that because my voice shakes a lot when I'm nervous. But you have to speak your truth. There is emotional freedom in that you can't buy anywhere, that you can't package up and put under a Christmas tree. The emotional freedom of speaking your truth and being who you are. There's no drug like that. I don't care about the freaking cannabis out there or all that happy shit. The best drug you can give yourself is freedom, happiness, being who you are, and making no more excuses for who you are, what you believe in, and your God given right to be yourself. Okay? So it has to start now. It has to start today. All right? So that's my advice to you, is to share it with them. Now, if they hang up the phone or they get angry, do not react back. No. Hold your power, hold your energy. Do not give away what's left of your energy to anger and to hostility, to nasty words. Okay? Don't do it. Hold your power. If it gets uncomfortable, tell them that you're going to either hang up the phone or you're going to leave and talk to them another time if they wish. All right? So remember, you're always in control. People can't control you unless you allow them to. Okay? So you have to hold your power. Now, here's another little trick that I use. When I'm having a difficult conversation, okay, I do a couple of techniques that help me. First, I do deep breathing. I take 3 deep breaths. I breathe in calm energy, and through the bottom of my feet, I breathe out the stress. Remember, it's energy, so this does work. Take 3 breaths, calm your heart rate down. Okay? The other thing that I do is I envision myself in a bubble of white energy. Nothing negative, nothing dark, nothing dramatic or negative, I said, can penetrate that white energy you put around you. Okay? So you'll be safe, you'll be grounded. The other thing I do is that I do believe in universal life force energy, God, the universe, angels. Ask the universe, ask God, whatever you believe in, to help you with the words so that both yourself and the person you're speaking to, i.e., your parents, siblings, whoever, your children, both come out of the conversation feeling loved and respected. Okay? It's amazing how that works. Okay? I remember doing that strategy when I was telling my husband I wanted a divorce. That was a difficult conversation. Telling my parents that I didn't feel loved by them. That was a difficult conversation. And each time, even sometimes talking to my children, having a difficult conversation, I will take those strategies, put white energy around me, breathe, and ask universal life force energy to help me communicate the words. I did that today as well, that I would speak whatever you need to hear that would help you for your greater good. So I'm hoping and I'm believing that that's what's happening now. So those are the tips that I'm saying to you, is that, again, nothing works in the absence of love. Not your health, not your happiness, not your job, not your family, not your Christmas dinner. Okay? So you want to gravitate to a place of love always. Under no exception should you fall into fear-based thinking, negativity, anger. It'll only cause you to be resentful and bitter. And that's a lot of people harboring that anger and they're getting sick from it. So you're here today because you want better for yourself. And I'm here today because I want better for you. And I've learned some stuff that could help you along the way. So that's all I'm going to say today because today's topic was about obligation. So again, you feel obligated because you're changing and that no longer works for you, that you are vibrating to a higher place of love, and obligation again is fear, and that's why you're feeling that this no longer jives with you. And that's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. The fact that you're growing, evolving, and consciously shifting from a place of fear into a place of love and gratitude, and you want better for yourself and your children and for everybody that you love. And they'll love you for that. Okay? So I'm very proud of you that you have taken the time to tune in today. God bless you. I will send you love. I will send you energy to have that conversation, okay? And remember, the conversation doesn't go well, then you'll have to distance yourself. Take the time to, take the time to process that. Be proud of your accomplishments. The fact that you even attempted to do it is amazing because most people talk a big talk, but when they have to put the rubber to the road and put some skin in the game. Nobody does it. So don't worry about those people. I want to help those, even if it's one person, which I believe it is. You're worth it. You're worth the conversation. So God bless you. Stay in the light of love always. Know that I'm here for you. Click on to Reiki Rita, the functional family, the parent support group, wherever I am. All right. Feel free, for God's sake, to reach out because you're going to need some support through this. All right. I may be your best friend till you get to the other side. All right. So I'm here for you. Know that. So God bless you. Be well. And thank you for tuning in. Is there any questions that I could answer for anybody that's here? I'm just going to say, any questions before I go? Okay. We'll give you a second or two. I know this is a tough subject. I know it's not a popularity contest, and, very few people want to touch it. But God has wired in me that need to go there now. It's time for us to speak about this. It's time for us to heal families. It's time for us to stop playing fake, phony, fear-based games. It's time for us to heal and to really feel love and be loved. So as long as there is wind in my sails and breath in my voice, I will always be here to help families heal and to bring love into families. So well, it looks like there are no questions. So I'm going to sign off, Dan, and I will see you next Wednesday at the same time at 7 o'clock. And we're going to talk about dealing with the Christmas crazies, but talking about favoritism and issues like that, the black sheep, favoritism, why those things happen in families and around Christmas, and how to deal with it. Okay? So from my heart to yours, I wish you a blessed evening. Thank you again for tuning in. Please stay hopeful. Don't give up on yourself. It does get better. And there is peace on the other side of that fear. So stay in the light, and I will pray for you. God bless you, and good night.